Having a good time here in Louisville, Kentucky. Behind me is a very large and beautiful, as you can see, church building, the Walnut Street Baptist Church, founded in 1815 as the First Baptist Church, and then it merged with the Second Baptist Church of Louisville together at a different location on Walnut Street in the 1840s, and they formed the Walnut Street Baptist Church. This building that you see here was built in 1902, nearly 100 years after the founding of the church. Three important men intersect with the history of Walnut Street Baptist Church. I'll just share those here briefly. Number one, the second pastor of the Walnut Street Baptist Church was William Wallace Evarts. He pastored here for about 7 years in the 1850s. Of course, leading up to the Civil War, the issue was slavery. Pastor Evarts was adamantly anti-slavery, and at that time, not enough of the congregation shared his belief on that, and so he felt led to just leave and let another man come and pastor. Pastor Evarts then went up to Chicago, where he pastored the First Baptist Church of Chicago for about 20 years, during which time the Chicago fire hit. Pastor Evarts then stayed with his congregation and led them through that terrible time, opening up his church for humanitarian help, for food, for lodging, etc. Pastor Evarts' son wrote his dad's biography. Really recommend to read the life of William Wallace Evarts by his son. Also, we'll learn that William Wallace Evarts' granddaughter was Henrietta Mears. And another great book is the Henrietta Mears story and what Henrietta did in Los Angeles in the Sunday school there at that church. A tremendous story as well. Pastor Evarts also wrote a book about child training, childhood, its promise and training. It's a great book as well. I'll try to put some of those here in the comments as well. The second man that is notable was a man that visited Pastor Evarts while he was here at Walnut Street Baptist. He is the Baptist pastor Johann Onken, who came over from Germany here to Louisville, and with Pastor Evarts together, they helped establish the German-speaking Baptists in the city of Louisville and establish churches and encourage them. Another great Baptist to read about is Johann Onken, the apostle to Germany, he's sometimes called, and his story is an amazing story of persistence and courage in Hamburg, Germany, and really God used Onken's work throughout Germany and into Scandinavia, countries all around. So two friends got together here at Walnut Street Baptist in the 1850s. The third man I'll mention had his membership here at Walnut Street Baptist in the 1900s. He is evangelist Mordecai Ham. Mordecai Ham is buried at a cemetery not far from here in Louisville. But Mordecai Ham was an evangelist, somewhat contemporary with Billy Sunday, stood for the temperance movement and his evangelist campaigns throughout the South. All told, they estimate somewhere around 1 million souls through the entire course of his ministry came to receive the Lord as their Savior through the efforts of Mordecai Ham. He was a very notable evangelist. Two notable men were saved under his ministry. One was a teenager named Billy Graham, and the second was a man named John Wimbish, who would later go to pastor in Manhattan in New York City and preached a very notable sermon there on St. Patrick's Day. You can look that up, John Summerfield Wimbish. But William Wallace Evarts, pastor 1853 to 1860. Johann Onken visited him here, and then Mordecai Ham, a Baptist evangelist. Interesting lives here merge at the Walnut Street Baptist Church. We're in downtown Louisville. The church is still here today and has decided to just stay here in the inner city. But a beautiful building, beautiful inside and out, as you can see. And brief history of some Baptists and their work here in the city of Louisville and abroad.